Good morning. Hope you're having a great week. It is, what is it? It is Wednesday. Yeah, early Wednesday morning, November 23rd, 3:50 a.m. Central Standard Time, local time here in Oklahoma City. I am at home. I got home Thursday morning. I put the truck in the shop. Well, not the truck, the trailer in the shop. And finally got the ABS issue fixed with the trailer. I've been dealing with that for like 8 months. It ended up being an exposed wire, a relatively simple fix. I think I'm not 100% sure what they did, but I'm guessing that all they did was just cut out the bad section of wire and splice in new wire. I'm guessing that's all they did. But anyway, got that resolved, and then I came home and Friday night, Saturday morning, real late at night, like at midnight, Friday night, Saturday morning, I went down to the Freightliner dealer and bought some new batteries for the truck, upgraded from regular flooded to absorbed glass material batteries. They're both lead acid, but AGM batteries are supposed to be far superior to flooded. So I've been having issues with the batteries not holding a charge for very long. So I replaced them, and I have yet to test them to see if there's a big difference. The flooded batteries, there was no core charge, so I kept my old batteries. I have them in the garage, and whenever I took them out of the truck, I tested them with a voltmeter, and they were all at like 12.85, 12.9 volts, which is basically fully charged. So the batteries look amazing, like they're in really good condition. So I'm hoping that I see a big difference, but I'm starting to get a little hesitant on whether or not it was worth it to spend that much money on batteries. But uh, we'll find out when I get in the truck. Now I was hoping to be back out over the road this week, and that doesn't look like it's going to happen. This is the reason I didn't want to come home, is because I keep finding excuses to stay home, and right now, because of the holiday, freight is slowing down. Thursday and Friday last week, there was a lot of good loads on the board, but I wasn't ready to leave at that time. I changed out the batteries Friday night, Saturday morning, and then I did meal prep all day Saturday. I did meal prep Sunday. I've been doing tons of stuff to get ready to go back out over the road. And Monday and Tuesday this week was not very good for freight. There were not a whole lot of good loads posted. So, and as we get closer and closer to the holiday, the number of loads keeps going down and down. They'll probably pop up next week. So I don't know. It looks like so far right now, it's looking like I'm going to be home until next week. I was hoping to, leave the house this week, but that doesn't look like it's going to happen. What else is going on with me? What's the big drama today? I had some packages, well, a package stolen from me. Let me pull up my browser here and I'll show you what I ordered. All right, so this is what I ordered. It is a belt jack. So I have to replace the alternator, fan, water pump belt. It's one belt for all those things on the APU. I have to replace that belt all the time. I'm constantly tightening that belt. Like I have to tighten that belt like once a week at least once a week. I have to tighten that belt, and I replace it maybe once a month. And the way I've been tightening the belt is not the way you should tighten a belt. Basically, I loosen up the screw a little bit to the point where it's tight enough that it'll kind of hold in place where it's at, but it's loose enough that if you hit it with a hammer, it'll slide a little bit. So that's basically what I've been doing is the alternator slides back and forth to tighten the belt. And I've been tightening that bolt up a little bit and then hitting it with a hammer, getting it tight, and then tightening it all the way down. And it's really hard to get the belt tightened doing that way. The way my mechanic does it, I think he just uses a pry bar and he puts pressure against the alternator. I can't, there's not enough room for me to get in there and do that. I can't figure out how in the hell he does it. I can't find a place to, put the pry bar, and like, I don't know. I can't figure out how to do it with a pry bar. So I ordered this belt jack. So basically, you put it in between. The belt goes around these little. I don't know what you call them, but you know what I'm talking about. The little things that the belt goes into. You're supposed to put this belt jack up against two of them, and then tighten it, and it pulls them apart to tighten the alternator or whatever it is that tightens the belt, and then you tighten it down. It has a lot of really bad reviews because they say that the point at the end is only like a spot weld, and it breaks apart real easily. But like, I only found 3 different ones on Amazon, and they all have bad reviews about having terrible spot welds. So I think it's the same things being marketed. It's being sold as 3 different items on Amazon, but I think it's all the same item on Amazon. But anyway, this is the package that was stolen today. Let's go check out. As you can see, this was only a $31 item. I think the total amount I paid with taxes and everything was a little over $33 for this item. So let's go look at the video footage. Let me pause this, and we'll pull up the video footage of the thieves. All right, so let me take this all the way back to the beginning. Okay, this is the beginning of the video. My cameras are an hour off. They're still on daylight savings time, so it's not actually 4:29, it's 3:29. So these are the thieves whenever the package was dropped off at 3:30 this afternoon. This is them walking by as the package was being dropped off. You see them checking out my porch, looking at the Amazon driver. They're probably stealing, and the video is just looping over and over. Now let me pause this, and I'll switch to the video where they actually stole the package. We'll do this video one more time. So you can see them looking over. They're looking over at my porch. They're looking at the Amazon driver. And then the Amazon driver gets out and drops the package off. So now it's going to loop the video again. So let me pause this. All right, this is video number 2. It says 7:22 p.m., but it's actually 6:22 p.m. Again, the thing is off. Oh my goodness, what happened there? Okay, so here's video number 2. You see, they sent the little kid over to steal the package, and now he's taking it back over, gives it to the girl, and now they're scurrying off. So is there a zoom? Can I zoom? I don't think I can. Oh, that's volume. I don't like, there's 0 volume on this thing. Full screen. I don't see any zoom function, but so let me pause this. We'll get back to me. So that's the drama that I woke up to. Was I went outside to pick up the package. It wasn't there, so I checked my cameras and saw that some kids in the neighborhood stole it. So I downloaded the video off of my cameras. I put it up on nextdoor.com, and I'm tired of package theft and vandals, vandalizing stuff in general. Like, there's a huge problem in my neighborhood with kids stealing stuff and vandalizing things. And I've had packages stolen multiple times. My neighbors have come over to me asking for video footage of stuff that has been stolen from their property. People just walk or drive around in the neighborhood, and they're opportunistic. If they see something out, they'll just like stop their car, get out, and take it. One of my neighbors had a ladder stolen. He had a ladder in his backyard, but his gate was open, and there was a pickup truck driving down the road at 2 a.m. And the pickup truck just stops in the middle of the road. And then somebody gets out, he runs over, grabs a ladder, throws it into the back of his pickup truck, and then drives off. He had his pickup truck full of shit. So he's probably just driving through the neighborhood looking for anything that he can steal. But package theft and vandalism is really bad in my neighborhood. And so if you don't do anything about it, it's just going to keep getting worse. So I'm going to pursue this legally. I reported it to the police, and I was surprised that they didn't have a mechanism for just reporting package theft online, because package theft is a huge problem. Now, the police did say that they are working to add an online way to report package theft, but it's not there yet. So what I had to do to report this stolen package is I had to call 911. That's what it said to do on the website, is to call 911. And they sent a cop out, actually 2 cops, and they filed a police report. They gave me a case number. They gave me a website to upload all my video footage to, and they gave me a place to contact if I have further information. And I posted the video footage on nextdoor.com as well. And I already had people reply back and tell me exactly who it is in the video, because these are kids that live in this fucking neighborhood that are just walking around stealing packages in the neighborhood. So I found out the name of their mom. I found out their address. I have their mother's phone number, and I'm going to provide all that information to the police. And the outcome I'm hoping is that it stops these damn kids from stealing packages. Because if everybody just keeps letting them get away with it, there's no repercussions, then they're just going to keep doing it. So, yeah, I've already given the majority of that information to the cops. The phone number that they gave me, is there any personal information on here? No, it has the case number. It doesn't have any of my information on here. This is the thing I got from the police that has the officer's name. It has the nature of the case is larceny, and it has the case number and the date. And then it has a couple of phone numbers that he told me if I get any more information to call these numbers and provide additional information. So I have the name of the kid. His name is Ryan. I'm not going to give out his last name. His mother's name is, I'm not going to give out her name. We'll just stop it there, because if I give out too much information, people are going to be able to figure out who it is. But they just live right down the street from me. They moved in 2018. And I found out that his mother was fired from Love's Truck Stop for stealing. That's fucking awesome, right? A whole fucking family of thieves. So the person who gave me the names of the people, the little boy and the girl and the boy, all of those people that you saw, that's all one fucking family. All those kids are one family. So it's not like a group of kids from multiple families walking around in the neighborhood. All of those people in that group, the first 3 that walked by were all from the same family. The second group, how many were there in the second group? There were like 5 plus the little kid that stole the package. There were like 6. 4 of the 6 were from the same family. So, yeah. And the mother of that family, I didn't look any information up on the father, but the mother was fired from Love's Truck Stop for stealing. She was a cashier at a Love's Truck Stop, and she was fired for stealing $140 from the register. The reason I was able to find that information is because she filed a wrongful termination lawsuit against Love's. So it became public record. So yeah, I'm really pissed off about it. These kids walk around the neighborhood all the time. Like, what are they thinking? Like, they live in the neighborhood. They're constantly walking up and down the street in the neighborhood, and they're stealing. Like, do they not think they're going to get caught or something? I don't know. I'm pissed off about it. As far as like, it's just a minor inconvenience to me, and $33 is not really a big deal to me. So, like, it's just the principle of it pisses me off. I don't know if you've ever had something stolen from you, but it doesn't matter how like important or expensive it was, the item that got stolen from you. If you have somebody vandalize something that you own or steal it, it just it really pisses you off. Like I get so mad. I have a really bad temper. I have to avoid. I'm gonna have to avoid any kind of contact with this family because I know my temper, and like, to have somebody take something from you or damage something of yours, for me that just sets me off like you wouldn't believe. I will fight to the death over some shit like that. Like if somebody came up and kicked my door, even if it didn't leave a fucking dent in it, I would probably fight them to the death over that shit. Um, anyway, so that's what I got to deal with for the first 3 or 4 hours after I woke up was this bullshit. Um, Let me see if I can show you the nextdoor.com. Oh my goodness, I have another private message. Uh, all right. That's the person that gave me the information, the name and all that stuff of the people in the video wants to remain anonymous. And there's a lot of personal information here on nextdoor.com, so I don't think I'm going to be able to show you anything from that page. But yeah, that's not a fun thing to wake up to. Really fired up about it. Now, what I did to correct the issue, of course, I did the police report. I still want the item, and I'm still trying to get the hell out of the house this week. So I found another version of that jack. It's not the exact same one that I ordered. There's another one that looks exactly the same, but it's like $10 cheaper. It's $20. And it's available for same day delivery. So I ordered that, and I had to get the order over $35. So I found another item that I needed that was available for same day delivery. It was a bleach sprayer. So I keep one of those pump spray bottles. I keep one of those that I have bleach in for mold and, cleaning general things, but mainly mold. I keep one in the shower, in the bathroom. And whenever I see mold in the shower, I get that bleach sprayer out and I'll spray it down to kill the mold. So the one that I've had for almost 10 years, I accidentally stepped on the nozzle and broke it. So I needed a new one. So I went ahead and ordered that. So those items are supposed to arrive today. And that issue will be resolved. And hopefully, even if the kids or parents don't get charged with anything, hopefully, just the cops showing up at their door and letting them know that, hey, we know who you are and we know that you stole packages. Hopefully that alone will get them to stop doing it in the future. If it goes beyond that, then, whatever. I don't care. I don't know what her record is. I know that she has been terminated from a job for theft, and her kids are just running wild in the neighborhood, stealing shit, vandalizing shit. This isn't the first time I've seen these particular kids doing jacked up shit in the neighborhood. So maybe Child Protective Services needs to get involved. I don't know what her record is, but this needs to be on the record against her. And if she has a lot of stuff on the record against her, then maybe Child Protective Services would need to get involved, because she's raising a bunch of fucking thieves, is what she's raising. But anyway, enough of that drama. What is going on with me as far as trucking goes? Well, I'm hoping to get out and make some money this quarter. I think 2023 is going to be a really, really bad year in trucking. We're going to be seeing a lot of trucking companies going out of business in 2023. I am surprised that we haven't seen a lot of trucking companies going out of business in 2022, because we have like all-time high expenses in trucking, and the rates are really bad. The rates are back down to 2019 levels. And if anybody remembers what happened in 2019, a lot of trucking companies went out of business in 2019 because I don't want to spend an hour trying to explain all this, but 2018 was a boom year because of the threat of tariffs. Trump threatened to put a tax on imports, tariffs, against China to help fix a trade imbalance with China. Right now, we are just enriching China. We are giving China the money to become the world's superpower, because of a massive trade imbalance between us and them. And Trump tried to correct that. He threatened to increase tariffs. So all the businesses in the United States that rely on China for imports, they make all their shit over in China and then import it into the US and sell it here. They don't manufacture it in the United States because it's cheaper to use a shithole like China that doesn't really have any fucking labor laws. It's the reason we have things like tariffs, is to stop that type of activity from happening. Anyway, all these companies went out and bought as much shit as they could in 2018 before the tariffs went into effect. I don't think the tariffs ever actually did go into effect. It was just threatened. But then when 2019 rolled around, they had all the shit that they needed in 2019. They didn't, import as much stuff. They didn't move as much freight around. So 2019 was a down year for freight. 2018 was a boom year. 2019 was a down year. Well, in 2018, because it was such a boom year, what happens every time? This is a cycle in trucking. Every time the rates get good, every dumbass comes in and spins up a trucking company. Everybody gets into trucking like it's a gold rush every fucking time the rates get good. And then we get way too many damn people in the industry. They collapse the rates. They drive the rates down. Well, we had too many people in the industry. And then on top of that, we had a severe reduction in freight because all those companies bought everything they needed in 2019. They bought it in 2018. So they weren't buying as much shit in 2019. Not as much freight. So we had too many trucks and a collapse in freight. And we're just constant stories about trucking companies going out of business in 2019. Largest U.S. trucking company to go out of business, Celadon, happened in 2019. Well, the rates have gotten back down to 2019 levels. And those are not normal levels. Those are below normal levels. And we've had a huge increase in expenses. So to try to put this into some kind of context, so let's say that I'm going to use a visual here. Let's say that this over here is normal rates. Well, our expenses and inflation and everything, fuel prices and all that stuff went up a lot over on this side. So in order for the rates to stay basically the same, the rates have to come up to match that. Well, right now the rates, instead of being, up here, the rates are actually down at 2019 levels, which is a down year. So there's a huge disparity between expenses and the rates right now. Even with the rates being back to what they were in 2019, with all the expenses and everything that have gone up, it's created a huge gap in profit. Profit is much thinner right now than what it would be in a normal market. And right now we are at the peak. The last quarter of the year is the peak freight market. The first quarter of the year is the worst quarter for freight. So we're about to exit the peak market and go into the worst quarter of the year for freight. And there are a lot of, we're at all-time high number of trucks on the road. There was some idiot from some small no-name company I've never heard of. A mainstream media news outlet did a story on trucking, and they quoted these morons. So the owner of this small no-name trucking company, who is an idiot that is probably going to go out of business, and one of the drivers leased to him, which is, probably some scam 1099 company driver bullshit. The two of them were interviewed, and they both said that there was a truck driver shortage, and the rates are going to get really high because of a truck driver shortage. That is the dumbest shit I've ever heard. Not only is there not a truck driver shortage, we have an all-time high record number of trucks on the road right now. And you can go look at the Bureau of Labor statistics in the transportation section, and you can see that data. We are at like all-time high number of trucks on the road right now. So them claiming a truck driver shortage, that is complete bullshit. And them claiming that the rates are going to go up because we have a driver shortage is also complete bullshit. The rates are going down, down, down because we have way too many trucks on the road. We have so many idiots in the world. And I can't believe a mainstream, well, I can. I mean, mainstream media is nothing but celebrity gossip and political propaganda these days. So, I can believe that they would report a story without doing any fact checking whatsoever and just perpetuate some ridiculously stupid propaganda that's not true. But anyway, all-time high number of trucks. We are at the peak market right now, and rates are not good. Imagine how bad it's going to be in the first quarter of 2023. We have a lot of trucking companies that are living paycheck to paycheck right now. They are desperate. They are of the mindset. These are bad business owners. They've structured their businesses very poorly. They don't know what the hell they're doing. They are going to go out of business, but what they're doing right now is they're just doing everything they can to stay in business. They run their businesses the same way the majority of people run their fucking personal finances. Paycheck to paycheck. They get a 50-cent raise. They get an extra $50 a week or something like that. And they're like, oh, awesome. I can afford to, get that cable subscription I always wanted. That's what people do in their personal finances. They live paycheck to paycheck. If they get any extra money, they increase their outgoing expenses. So they don't really save anything. And that's the way the majority of these fly-by-night trucking companies run their businesses. And a lot of the mega carriers run their businesses that way as well. A lot of the mega carriers don't have enough money. Like if their revenue dropped considerably, they don't have enough money to stay afloat for more than a month or two. They'll go out of business very quickly. So the position we're in right now is, the point I'm trying to make is all these companies what do people do whenever they start struggling? They don't pay bills unless they absolutely have to. And they just try to, stretch money as much as they can. And that's what these trucking companies are doing. They're just, even though the rates are so low that they're basically running break even or even at a loss, or they're barely making any money, they just keep running those loads. They keep driving the rates down. And they're going to do that until they go out of business. So when the rates tank in the first quarter of 2023, all those trucking companies that are living paycheck to paycheck are just going to drive the rates into the floor. I think there's going to be a lot of complaining about cheap dollar a mile freight in early 2023. We're going to see a lot of complaining before we see the trucking apocalypse of 2023. There's a lot of things that are going on in the world right now. So 2023 is going to be a really, really, really bad year for freight. Now, worst case scenario for 2023, China invades Taiwan. Now, is that a high probability that that's going to happen? I would say it's probably about a 70% chance that China invades Taiwan in 2023. Why do I say that? All right, let's look at the facts. Number one, China has flat out said that they're taking back Taiwan. They have these plans. They have like a 2035 plan, a 2049 plan. They have plans that are publicly available that you can go fucking look at. They have their Chinese Communist Party meetings where they get together and talk about this shit, the CCP. And one of their stated goals is, well, one is regional dominance, which they're like a decade ahead. They expected regional dominance by like 2035, and they're like a decade ahead of that. They have regional dominance, or they're really close to attaining regional dominance right now. There's no one that can compete with them in the region, and the United States cannot push them around in their region anymore. Used to, the United States could just like have an aircraft carrier start headed towards China, and China just be like, fuck, there's nothing we can do about that. That's not the case anymore. China is, as far as being a military, they are not terrified of our aircraft carriers anymore. They can counter them. They have their own aircraft carriers. They have systems in place to take out our aircraft and our aircraft carriers. So they have that regional dominance. One of their other stated goals is to take back Taiwan. And the propaganda that they keep preaching is that Taiwan is just going to come back. You know, it's going to be a peaceful transition and Taiwan's going to come back. But the things that they do and the things that they say are two different things. It's kind of like, you know, the politicians in our country. They say one thing and they do another. They're like, oh, this is going to make, you know, puppies and unicorns and all this shit. And they get everybody to be like, oh, yeah, let's vote for it. And then what it ends up actually being is lining their pockets and lining, you know, their families' pockets and their donors' pockets. You know, it's bullshit. But people fall for that kind of stuff. Well, anyway, China has flat out stated they're taking Taiwan back. They are in a position to take Taiwan back right now. And the reason I say that it's most likely to happen this year, I think there's a really high probability that they attack Taiwan this year. Why do I say that? Well, last year, people were saying that Taiwan might, or China might attack Taiwan last year. And I said that there was a very small chance that I didn't think it would happen last year. The reason I said that is because Xi was up for re-election. The CCP, you know, it's not like everybody in China votes for Xi. No, the political leaders of the CCP gather. I don't know what they call it, a Congress meeting or something, but they all get together and they basically are like, who do we want to lead the party and for how long? They decide the term limit and they decide who it is. Well, Xi was up for re-election or reconsideration in late 2020. Was it this year? Yeah, it was this year. Late 2022. It was just like a month or two ago. He was re-elected, basically for life. Well, if he would have invaded Taiwan right before that, then, and it went poorly, he would have most likely been ousted. China is really big about saving face. So they would have blamed everything that happened negatively on Xi, and they would have replaced him. So he waited until he was reelected to do it. And that's what I said in previous videos, was that it was highly unlikely China would invade Taiwan in 2022 because Xi was up for reelection. Well, now he's been reelected. They're in a position to take back Taiwan. You know, they have everything they need to do it right now. They've been wargaming on it for years. And the reason I say it's highly likely to happen in 2023 is because we have a presidential election that's going to be happening in late 2024. And right now we have extremely weak leadership in power in the United States. If you look what happened when Russia invaded Ukraine, I don't know if you know the backstory on Ukraine, but when the USSR broke up, Ukraine was one of the largest holders of nuclear weapons in the world. They were one of the major nuclear powers. Well, Ukraine agreed to give up all their nuclear weapons with promises that the United States would come to their aid and keep Russia from, you know, invading the country. We promised Ukraine that we would help defend against Russia in exchange for them giving up all their nuclear weapons. Well, they did that. They were stupid. They were naive. They were gullible. They believed us. And then Russia invaded Ukraine, and we were like, bad Russia. You shouldn't have done that. And we just sat back and just fucking watched it. Well, we made the same promises to Taiwan. We promised Taiwan that we would defend them against China. And Taiwan's sitting there looking over at Ukraine going, you gonna help them out? Like, what is gonna happen to us if China invades us? You guys didn't do shit for Ukraine. So Taiwan is probably getting really scared right now. And China probably does not want to take the risk that we are going to elect strong leadership in 2024, 2025. Well, the leader wouldn't go into power until they wouldn't be inaugurated until 2025. So they have this 2-year window. And people as a species are really bad about living in the moment. So if China were to invade Taiwan right now, we would be really pissed off about it. But 2 years from now, it probably wouldn't even be a really big deal if China was still fighting Taiwan. Like, look at Russia and Ukraine right now. It's just become the new normal. We have this normalcy bias. It's built into our brains. No matter how bad something is, if it happens for a period of time, we get used to it. It just becomes normal. So if China invades Taiwan in 2023, by the time we have a presidential election, even if we elect a strong leader, they probably would not be able to get enough public support to do anything about it because it's been going on for so long at that point. So I think it is highly, highly likely that China invades Taiwan in 2023 while we have weak leadership in power in the United States. Also, because we are fighting a proxy war with Russia right now in Ukraine. And China has made public statements that the United States cannot fight on two fronts. So Russia is expanding. Like, China and Russia are both being very expansionist right now. Russia is wanting to recreate the USSR. They're wanting to take back their old territories. And Ukraine is one of their main old territories. I think the original capital of Russia was in Ukraine. I think it was like Kiev or something like that was like the original capital of, when the Russia was created. A lot of history with Ukraine. But this is expansionism is what it is. Russia is trying to expand out and take back old territory. China is extremely expansionist. If you've been watching anything about China over the last couple of decades, they're basically wanting to take back any territory that has ever belonged to China ever. So that's pretty scary. They've been building those artificial islands. That's part of their their goal of regional dominance, those artificial islands for their military. That was part of their regional dominance and claims over the Strait of China and stuff like that. So yeah, now that they have the military and they have the economic power that we basically paid for in the United States through our shitty government, now they're starting to push people around over there in the Pacific. So yeah, what does all that mean to us as truck drivers, as owner operators, as small business owners? Well, I've already told you how bad I think 2023 is going to be. Imagine how bad the freight market would be if all freight from like China stopped for even just a month or two. Freight would plummet to nothing. It would cost nothing to move freight in the United States. You wouldn't be able to make any money. It would just be, I don't even know, like it would be really, really bad. We are highly dependent on China. If China shut off all trade with the United States, it wouldn't have much impact on China. Yeah, it would suck for China, but it wouldn't be that bad. They could find other people to buy their shit. For us, it would be destabilizing to our country. We are highly dependent on China. Like pharmaceuticals, just antibiotics. Something like 98% of antibiotics are made in China. It's like 90 or 98% or something like that of the antibiotics we use in the United States are like made in China. And there's a lot of things like that that we're highly dependent on China for. So like it would be devastating to our country. So I don't even know if we'd be able to put any economic sanctions on China. We wouldn't be able to do anything. Like the China has us over a barrel right now, and our government over decades has put us in that position. They have empowered an adversary, a country that like I don't know. I don't want to get too political on this channel because this is a truck driving channel, but you know these things affect us as small business owners, and I think you need to be aware of this shit. People need to understand what's going on in the world. So if China invades Taiwan, I don't know exactly how it'll play out. Our current government would not risk a direct military conflict. They would probably attempt to do some type of sanctions just to appease the populace, but the sanctions would probably be really light because they couldn't do much sanctioning against China for fear of, you know, crushing our economy. And China might retaliate if we do any sanctions against them at all. They might retaliate by sanctioning us, just cutting off all ties with us. Like who knows how it could escalate. But yeah, if China cuts off all trade with us, that would be devastating to our economy. We are just too reliant on China. So I don't know. It could go very bad. But I think I'll wrap up this video. I think there's a World Cup game that has already started that I'm going to go watch. There's a couple of them from yesterday that I haven't watched. I think there's only one that I haven't watched from yesterday. I'm going to watch that one, then I'm going to start getting caught up on the ones that are starting right now. USA looks terrible in the World Cup, and you know there's a lot of political theater happening in the World Cup. There's already some drama about the coach of the U.S. team is wearing some anti-U.S. t-shirt. I think that's really fucked up for, you know, the head coach of our U.S. national team to be wearing like some anti-U.S. shirt, some political statement bullshit. It pisses me off. But anyway, there's a whole lot of political drama happening in the world right now. There's a lot of political theater. There's a lot of divide and conquer. There's a lot of bullshit happening. And right now, people are extremely, extremely opinionated on politics. And like people get really pissed off about politics. Like you do not want to talk about politics in public. People will like get really mad. I remember I was listening to, I had Fox News playing on my phone while I was taking a shower at a TA, and the person that cleans the showers, she was just ranting and raving and throwing stuff. I could hear her throwing stuff around, and I was like, what the fuck's going on out there? So I shut the shower off and went over the door, and I heard her talking to somebody about this asshole in here playing Fox News. I was like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, that's the point that it's gotten to. It's just crazy. It's absolutely crazy. Like how divided people are right now, and how much people believe all the political propaganda, and how much, like, you know, there are people that are just like diehard Republicans and people that are diehard Democrats. Me personally, I don't belong to any political party. I hate mainstream media. I still listen to it to get information, and I you know understand that is biased information that they're providing. But yeah, there's a lot of people out there that they'll fight you. Like they find out that you're a Republican, they'll fight you. They find out you're a Democrat, they'll fight you. It's crazy out there right now. It's sad. It's really sad and our politicians have done this. They've created this divisiveness in the country. It's just absolutely crazy. But anyway, I think that's enough for this video. My recommendation for you, if you haven't understood what my recommendation is based off all the information that I've just given you, I recommend that you get out there. Don't do what I'm doing and sit at your house right now. Get out there and make as much money as you can while you can make money, because 2023 is going to be really bad. Now, I can't state with 100% accuracy that I know for a fact 2023 is going to be exactly how I think it's going to be. I can't see into the future. All I can do is look at what's going on. I can look at the record high fuel prices. I can look at record high inflation. I can look at, the Federal Reserve aggressively raising interest rates. And I can see that all of those indicators, all of those things that are happening right now, every one of them are negative for the economy. Every one of them means less freight. And I can also look and see that we have a record high number of trucks over the road right now. And I can see that we have, the worst quarter of the year coming up. We're in the top quarter right now, the best quarter, and rates are bad already. And we're about to go into the worst quarter of the year. And trucking companies and businesses in general have already started announcing mass layoffs. We're at the beginning of the businesses finally realizing how bad it's going to be, and they're starting to lay people off. The businesses typically lag behind. The data analysts at these businesses are really bad at their jobs. Most data analysts don't understand the data, and data analysis is usually, it lags behind. The data that they use in the trucking industry is usually a month or a quarter behind. So, up until recently, when I say recently, up until this year, last year, these trucking companies were saying that we were going to be seeing increasing freight rates for as far as they could project, all the way through 2025. At the end of their projections, they were seeing, freight rates were just going to continue rising, irrational exuberance. We were seeing that kind of shit last year before the rates started coming down. And now they've had almost a full year of data that shows the rates flattening out and going down. And now it's starting to, cross through some lower thresholds on their rate trends and stuff like that. And they're starting to see, oh, well, it's going to get really bad now. This is the way that these idiots do things. And like, when things get bad, they think it's going to be bad forever. When things get good, they think it's going to be good forever. And it's because they don't understand data analysis. The morons doing data analysis for them don't understand how to do it. They don't understand the data that they're looking at. They don't understand, normal market trends. They don't understand the industry trends. They don't understand what the hell's going on. They're just looking at this line going across there, and they're going, oh, well, the line should keep going this way, or the line should go down this way. It's like, it is so stupid. I know lots of major, I worked for one of the largest companies in the world at my last job, and they are completely metric and data driven. They make business decisions off of the analysis of these morons looking at trend lines and shit like that. And it's a horrible way to run a business. Absolutely horrible way to run a business. But that's the way most businesses are run. So that's the reason most businesses have knee-jerk reactions, is because they're usually caught off guard whenever things happen, for positive or negative, because they're looking at data that's months or quarters old, as far as their analysts go. So anyway, enough ranting and raving about that. So yeah, the point is, get it while you can. You should be out there running your ass off right now. Even though the rates aren't very good, you can still make money. Well, you should be able to make money. If you are not making money right now, man, you need to rethink your business. Your business is very poorly set up. If you cannot be profitable right now in today's market, you're fucked. Because next year is going to be like really bad. We are not anywhere close to really bad yet. Things are not very good right now, but they're not really bad yet. So get out there and get as much money as you can right now while you can, and put yourself in a good position for next year. Because I think next year is going to be I hope China doesn't invade Taiwan, because even if China does not invade Taiwan, next year is going to be a really rough year. If China invades Taiwan, I might go out of business, in all honesty. Like I'm structured in a way where I can survive some really negative stuff. But if China invades Taiwan, even people like me might go out of business. You know, people that have pretty good business plans. But anyway, good luck. I hope, you know, that you make it. If you're a good business owner, if you know what in the hell you're doing and you've structured a decent business, I hope you make it. If you're one of these fly by night people that doesn't know what in the hell you're doing, you came in here because of the gold rush, then I fucking hope you go out of business as quickly as possible so that we can right this ship as quickly as possible. Because, you know, unfortunately, that's just the way it is. We have got to see a massive reduction in the number of trucks in order for the rates to come back up. So there's going to be a lot of people going out of business. And those company drivers are going to find it harder to move around. Places are going to start having hiring freezes. Places are going to get more picky with the drivers that they're taking on. Gone are the days of, you know, just hiring warm bodies. They're going to start getting really picky. So anyway, thanks for watching. Have a good one. Bye.